Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video, I'm going to take a look in the Soulforge and tell you what I think is worth crafting from there. What's worth crafting and what you should potentially avoid. Anyway, I went to the zoo the other day and it only had one animal. A dog. It was a Shih Tzu. Did you get it? I liked it. Anyway, that one was given to me by Gavin in our guild. Cheers, Gav. That one got a chuckle. Right, we do have a glory troop this week. This is a jeweled golem. Let's see what this one does. Explodes a gem, then creates 1 × 3 wild card with 2 more for each brown gem destroyed. This is potentially really good. With 2 more for each brown gem destroyed, so you get to choose which gem to explode, which is going to generate a little bit of mana. But more importantly, if you can destroy, I don't know, say 3 brown gems, when you do that, that's going to be 7 wild cards appear. That is going to generate potentially a shed load of mana. Wow. It'll either generate a shed load of mana for you or a shed load of mana for the enemy, but it's construct. That's going to work in a Charlestoni team. Oh my god, this is going to be absolutely ludicrous. I'm going to wing this and say this is potentially absolutely amazing. I'm going to give this 8 out of 10 already, without even trying it, because I think the potential for this is absolutely huge. The fact it's construct as well means it can start with 50% mana, which is going to be really cool. And double skull damage versus stunned enemies. Right, yes, I'm going to give that a very, very, very solid 8 out of 10, because I think that has epic potential. Hopefully I'm not wrong, but we'll check it out later. Either way, we'll get it all the way up to mythic level by spending 6,400 glory, and we'll get it leveled up later to level 20. Right, whilst I'm out, I do like to grab the spoils of war. You can grab 10 of these a week for another 1,800 glory. In the bag, eventually. Thank you very much. Okay, let's take a look in the Soulforge then, and we'll start with the weapons. Not going to go over the ones that are here all the time, like Eye of Zathanos, Shattered Blade, Broken Guard, etc. These are in my Soulforge extra video, which will be in the description below. Right, we'll start off with Doomed Gavel. Deals magic-based heavy splash damage to an enemy with a +4 per tempering level boost. So on the maximum level, that'll be a +40 boost. Stun all yellow enemies, cleanse all yellow allies, explode 4 gems. And if the enemy has a doom, explode 3 more. So that has to have a lot going on to get the most out of that. You have to be in a all yellow team to benefit from that cleanse to everyone. You have to be fighting an all yellow enemy, and they have to have a doom as well. So a lot has to happen to get the most out of that. They're not the best doomed weapons for me. They're just okay, even though the heavy splash damage can be significant. Slashing Embers. Convert all gems in a upwards or downwards diagonal into burning gems. Then deal magic-based scatter damage. Not quite sure what that means. I'm going to have to try that out to discover what that means. Convert all gems in an upwards or downwards diagonal. Right, I'm going to buy that later and try it out, because I literally have no idea. I've got an idea what that means, but I'm not entirely sure. So we'll try that one out later, see if it's any good or not. Axe of Fire. Deal magic-based damage to the first enemy, then create 7 red gems. Yeah, 7 red gems. The trouble with that is it's not very many, and that is just as much chance to set the opposition up for some mana as it does for you. So it's kind of do you feel lucky. If the board is covered in red, if you've got a red storm going on, it's going to definitely help it. And definitely if the enemy doesn't use red, that's worth a gamble, but otherwise that is far from essential. Doomed Band. Do not craft that from here. This is in the Tower of Doom event, and if you're going to go to, I think it's tier 4, then you're going to pick it up there anyway. So it's much better to pick it up that way than it is to spend your valuable diamonds here in the Soulforge getting it. And it gives magic, gives 2 magic to all allies, +1 per tempering level, and then give magic +2 armor to brown allies. And if the enemy has a doom, gain 10 attack. So it's not my favorite kind of weapon, but this is the one that gives the ×2 score in the Tower of Doom. Not sure what the ×2 score means. I'm going to have to take a look at that first. Does that mean ×2 dooms? Let me know in the comments if you've checked that out already, because if it is ×2 dooms effectively, then that is definitely very effective and definitely worth sticking on for the event anyway. But yeah, but the actual spell itself, if this was on its own, not in the event, for example, it's just an okay weapon. I'm not actually a huge fan of ones that give armor. They can be beneficial, but a true damage team, for example, is going to bypass any armor gained. And you will benefit from the magic boost, but apart from that, not that great. Right, we have Flamifar. Create 10 red gems. This is a better amount of gems than the other one that done 7. It's only 3 more, but that can really make a huge difference. Then deal magic +2 damage to an enemy boosted by red gems. So really good for generating mana in a team that uses red for your other troops. Do like Flamifar a lot, really good. Doomed Club. Deals magic-based damage to all enemies. Do like that, +1 per tempering level, so you can get a further 10 boost that, and that is 10 to all enemies, remember, so that's effectively a 40 damage boost. Transform green gems to doom skulls. If the enemy has a doom, create 5 more, and gain 3 mana for each brown enemy. So really effective against brown enemies, and the fact that it transforms green to doom skulls, I mean, you can actually look at the board and make sure you're going to get like a 4 match, for example, before casting that, to make sure you do a lot of damage. So you're going to get damage to all first, transform green to doom skulls, get an extra turn if they align, and yeah, very good. Absolutely fantastic weapon, absolutely worth picking up. Shegra's Spine. Deal damage to an enemy boosted by giant allies. Then create a mix of 6 blue and brown gems for each giant ally. So this uses green and red, creates blue and brown, so just make sure your other allies use blue or brown to benefit from that lovely mana, because if they do, these weapons are absolutely superb. Wump. Deals magic-based damage to an enemy boosted by Broken Spire allies, so similar to the last one. Then create a mix of 6 red and brown gems for each Broken Spire ally. Uses blue and yellow, generates red and brown. So same as the other one, make sure at least a couple of your other troops use red or brown to make the most of all that mana. Fire God's Heart. This is a pretty cool weapon. Explodes gems, grants a random status effect to all the Broken Spire allies, then summons a Broken Spire troop. A explodey summoning weapon, as I call them. I do like these. Really good at generating mana. Has the safety of a summon at the same time in case things go wrong, and you can get those status effects to all the Broken Spire allies. Really cool. Any more for any more, or is that our lot? No, we have a Molten Ward at the bottom. Barrier myself. Then give magic-based armor to all allies, boosted by burning gems. If I am burning, gain an extra turn. If you're burning, gain an extra turn. Probably you're waving around in panic trying to put the flames out, therefore you move a bit faster, therefore getting an extra turn. But anyway, not too bad. Armor boost is pretty good, I suppose. But yeah, not exactly essential, but I do like barrier. Alright, let's take a look at the troops now. There's nobody special in these ones. I've had a look earlier, so you can have a quick look, see if there's anybody that you're missing, and then just roll the dice and see if you pick them up. Always worth a go. Like Skeleros can be fun to use, doubles the number of skulls on the board, then creates 2 skulls. So take a look through these, see if there's anybody you're missing, and then roll the dice and see if you pick them up. But let's take a look at the mythics first. Let's start from the bottom and work our way up. Same as the weapons, all the troops that are here all the time, like Zul'Goth, Enraged, Kundara, etc. are in my Soulforge extra video. Right, let's start off. Who's first? We have the Sparkinator. Steals magic +1 armor from all enemies, creates 10 bomb gems, then explodes a random gem. So stealing armor is reasonably effective because you're taking away the armor from all the enemies and adding it to your own, which makes them weaker, makes you tankier. Then creates 10 bomb gems, then explodes a random gem. If that random gem does explode the bomb gem, that usually creates a chain reaction which can generate an absolute ton of mana. So it's good for that. This is a little bit disappointing for a troop which is basically a homage to the Terminator. He'll be back. And yeah, it's just I would have liked it to have done damage or something rather than gain armor. That's very un-Terminator-like. But anyway, the traits are okay. Reduce damage from skulls by 25%, reduce damage from spells by 25%, and gain 8 armor when matching red gems. But overall, it can be effective, but it's not outstanding. Tihamata. This is a homage to Dungeons and Dragons, I think, the old cartoon from the, was it mid-80s? I've got a box set of it actually. I still haven't got around to seeing them all either. Absolutely awesome series though. Tiamat was the Venger's arch enemy in Dungeons and Dragons. But anyway, deals magic-based damage to all enemies, then creates 3 times 4 wild cards. If those wild cards align with other colours, you're going to generate an absolute ton of mana, and it can be really good. Trait's not bad either. Reduce damage from skulls by 30%. 25% chance to create a ×2 wild card when matching 4 or more gems, and gain 10 life when an enemy casts a spell, which is a little bit weird because you don't really want the enemies casting spells. So to make the benefit of that last trait, you have to actually have the enemy cast a spell. A little bit of a daft trait, Tihamata, but never mind. Damage to all is pretty good. Who else we got? We have Plague. Eliminate magic +2 points of a random skill from all enemies, poison and disease them. Not that great. It's a little bit rubbish, to be honest. The traits, Impervious is obviously okay. Deal double skull damage versus diseased enemies is okay, particularly if you get to cast that first, because you do get to disease them. And enemies lose 3 skill points on 4 or 5 gem matches, so that's going to be a little bit slow these days. Plague, nah, sorry mate, yeah, go in the bin. War, do believe was the first ever mythic added to the game, and it kind of shows it's not truly, utterly, incredibly diabolical. There are certainly worse mythics out there. Burns all enemies, deals magic +1 damage to an enemy boosted by my attack. Gain an extra turn if the enemy dies. Yeah, it's like, yeah, 50% chance to ignore armor with skull damage is very good though, as is reflect 25% of skull damage. And gain 3 attack at the start of each turn does increase his attack, which therefore increases his damage. But overall, War is kind of showing his age these days. Right, let's take a look at the legendaries now, ever so briefly. Here we got. Who's up first? Regent Caliph. Gain 4 magic and either gain magic +1 life or deal magic +1 damage to all enemies, or gain 10 more magic. Not really a fan of these troops that do this one thing or the other. I want to damage them, or I need the life. I want one or the other, not like a random 50-50 chance for it to happen. In fact, it's less than 50-50 because you got the chance to gain 10 more magic. So yeah, not a fan of you, Regent, mate. Sorry, bud. Queen, grapple face, grapple pot to her mates. Does damage to all enemies, boosted by ally and enemy goblins, and gains an extra turn. Damage to all is good. You can just like slowly chip away at the enemy, especially with a team like a Gobtruffle as well that also does damage to all and gains the standard goblin extra turn. Sekma, really good. Love this troop. Used to use her a lot in the early days. Transforms blue gems to skulls, transforms brown gems to yellow, and deal magic +1 damage to an enemy boosted by all other allies' magic. And as that awesome Sun's Glory, gain 2 magic on red gem matches. So when you're making that red and she uses red herself, her damage is going up all the time. Really cool troop. Do like her a lot. Moloch. Drain all mana from an enemy, deal magic-based true damage boosted by mana drain. So fairly powerful when cast on the correct opponent, because it is a 1-to-1 boost ratio as well. In other words, if you drained 20 mana from an enemy, you're going to, in this case, be dealing 59 true damage. So pretty good, not too bad at all. But that is the last one. Who gets my super coveted, not mythic of the week? Well, I can tell you one thing, it is not going to be War. It's not going to be Plague. No chance. So out of these two, Tihamata and the Sparkinator. And the way I kind of think about these things is, if one of these mythics was about to be removed from the game forever, so it's only left with one, who would I rather have? Well, Sparkinator. Sparkinator is kind of okay. It can make it extremely tanky and difficult to kill in the correct team. But I am going to roll with Tihamata on this. I do like damage to all. The chance to create a load of mana back at the same time is there every single time you cast it. And it's a shiny looking dragon, which is actually pretty cool and based on Dungeons and Dragons Tiamat. So I'm going to give it to Tihamata. But there's the video. If you enjoyed it, why not bash that like and subscribe button? It really does help. But most of all, thanks for watching. I'll be back later on with more videos today. There's a lot going on today. Got the Tower of Doom going on, the Epic Trials, maybe even an Underspire video. Who knows? But thanks for watching this one. I'll catch you again in the next one. Bye for now.